Hey, beautiful humans. It's Monday. I did a scary thing today and I reflected on this in my meditation and really came to just a place of stillness within that, knowing that like no matter what happens, it's not that fucking serious. Like how often do we like psych ourselves out and get all amped up of like what are people going to think? Like who's going to reject me? Who's going to abandon me? But the truth is, we are the safe space in which all of this is happening. Can we hold a level of depth and space for ourselves in which, even if every other person on the planet rejected us, that we could be safe within, that we could be okay with ourselves and be proud of ourselves for doing the big scary thing? So I made a post today on Facebook, and it was something that I was really not wanting to post about because it was scary. It was the thing. But my higher self's like, bitch, just do it. It's actually not that serious, right? And it's a powerful story. So I shared the story of the last cigarette that I smoked, which was this past January. And this was a decade long like closet habit that I had. But we all know closet habits, like people usually know, right? 9 out of 10. They fucking know what's going on. And so I wrote this post because it's these kinds of things, right? Like people are struggling with all sorts of addictions every day. And I've been there in that regard, and it's powerful to share our experiences with one another. Because how often are we feeling alone? That we're the only ones struggling with this thing and we just aren't. And so if I can help uplift someone, who may be struggling with smoking, or maybe they're struggling with something else, right? That they're like hiding, or another addictive behavior, then it's worth doing it. It's worth the little bit of discomfort in my own life to be able to support someone else, because really this discomfort that I felt was the shedding of an old story, and really shedding even another layer of that habit, of that closet habit was still a closet, even though I wasn't doing it anymore because I wasn't sharing it. What good is that, right? We're such a collective and connecting species, and yet we sometimes don't. And so the real power in that, it was really just a more therapeutic thing for me to share, knowing that it could also impact others. Wow, how powerful is it that we can have an impact and literally change the world just by being our fucking selves, just by aligning to our authentic truth and stepping into our full fucking power, and then having the balls to share it. That's the piece, right? Is really being open to sharing and just open to receiving people who need us also, right? It's just like this cycle, this reciprocal cycle. And it was powerful because after I posted, I did the things, I edited the post like a zillion times just from that place of anxiety. And it was like, comes to a point where you get that awareness and it's like, okay, it's time to be done with this. It's time to do the thing, press the mouse fucking pad, and pull off the band-aid and do it. It was my next expansion in that moment. So I did. And then I felt the feelings really come up, right? Because sometimes, like anxiety, it's like a weird feeling. It's like this compressed feeling of all the feelings, right? Just constricted. For me, it's like usually in my heart space, sometimes in my stomach. I'm not sure where the fuck I was feeling it today. Like my entire body was just like, ooh. And so I just posted it, right? And all of that started coming to the surface. Like the tears were welling. Like I was apparently just holding on enough to get through posting that. And then I got to feel the feelings of release, right? That's what it was. Like when we're crying things out, we're just fucking releasing the attachment to what if my mom doesn't approve? What if my family like rejects me or talks shit about me behind my back? What if all of these people think that I'm not a credible professional because I like was doing this unhealthy thing and was hiding it? Oh fucking well, right? What does that really mean? Nothing. Those are stories I'm telling myself, and maybe some people will reject me for it. wonderful. That's truly a gift at the end of the day. And so I took a moment. I took a moment as soon as I posted it, shut this shit down, and I went outside with my dog and I stood in the sun, face to the sun, taking in that like beautiful nature vibe, getting that vitamin D, taking some deep breaths, feet in the ground, and just feeling what was coming through and letting it be there and holding space for myself, right? Because it's really not about the approval or the rejection. There's going to be people that both approve and other people that reject. It's just probably a fact of life, I think, at this point, if I've learned anything. It's about holding that space for ourselves to feel the thing so we can come into the next deepest level of who we are and align even further with our truth, because that's how we make an impact. That's how we change the world. That's how we do what we came here to do, is by holding space for us. So we, right, can like really transcend and move beyond that old story of who we thought we were. Like, who was I when this was all in the closet and shit? How much more freedom do I have now that I just fucking said it out in front of over 1,000 people? Who fucking cares? What's in here is that I feel in alignment. And, sometimes there's scary parts to that. Sometimes it can feel uncomfortable, feeling that potential, like swirling, that chaotic, the external, the I don't know how this will be received, but I know how I receive me, and I love me, and I hold this powerful space for me. And so do that for you. Hold space for you and your authentic truth and your power and your beautiful feelings. Let those old stories just fall away as you step more and more into yourself. That's freedom, is to feel the discomfort and to know that I can hold powerful space for myself to still move forward and be okay. I'm here now. I feel good. That was maybe a couple hours ago that I did that. Whatever it is that your higher self is asking you to do to bring yourself further into alignment, do it. You can do it. You have exactly what you need, and you're exactly where you need to be to get to where you want to go. So just take one little step, one after the other, right? Like posting something on social media is such an insignificant thing. But there was such power and freedom in that for me. And so whatever that thing is, even if it's a small thing, right? Like for me, the posting, do it. Access that level of freedom for you and see how it changes your life. Okay, my friends, that's what I've got for you today. Lots of love, and I'll catch you on the flip side.